Well, hello everyone. It's Sami-Jo here from a gaming network, and today I have the absolute pleasure of sitting down and chatting with the Pixel Pack legend herself, Anjali Bhimani. You may recognize her or her voice from a plethora of film, TV, and video game projects, including Overwatch, Critical Role, Miss Marvel, and most recently, Tales from Woodcreek. Anjali, are you feeling good, better, or best today?
Oh, definitely feeling best. Definitely
Good to
feeling best. I
hear.
love that. What a great way to good, better, best, best.
I had to slip it in. I caught up on the
I love
first two
that.
chapters that are out, so we'll definitely be talking
Well
about that
done.
more. Yeah. And it's kind of, I have to say, it's wild for me getting to talk to you today because I'm sure you've heard this a dozen times, but when me and my husband were first bonding with each other, it was through video games. And two of the biggest ones happened to be Overwatch and Apex Legends, which I think
Oh,
you're a little familiar with those.
I am, and my sweet girls in both of them.
Yeah. How does it feel getting to like hear those types of stories? Is it like do you get weirded out
It's
a little bit?
amazing.
Or-
No, I love it. Being an actor, I think in general, whatever medium you are working in, and especially if you're working in multiple, the biggest question is: are people actually being touched by it? Are people actually getting things out of it? Are people hearing it, seeing it? Is it out there? And
Yeah.
so, any kind of interaction I get to have with anyone, whether in an interview, whether on the street, whether at a convention, whatever it is, where that comes up, and it's not just like, oh cool, you're in that thing. It's, oh, this is how it affected me, or how this is how it's part of my life, or that just makes it all 10 times more worthwhile,
Oh
because
yeah.
the last person I'm making all of this for is myself.
But where would we be if you weren't in this career? We're all so thankful that you're
Where
here.
would I be? I don't know. I guess I would have been a doctor instead of playing doctors on TV. Who knows?
And was there like really a moment where you're just like, wow, this is my projects are like really resonating with fans. Like I'm actually building like a deeper level, not to be parasocial about it because we don't
Mhm.
like
But a deeper,
parasocialness,
but a
but
deeper level of
yeah.
connection, right?
Yeah.
Actually, yes, there is absolutely a moment, which inspired me to create another project. So, obviously, there were like little bits and pieces of moments when Overwatch first came out, right?
Mhm.
And every big project I've done, my first Broadway show, my first TV show, like there's been some moment where I'm like, oh cool, people are liking this, or oh cool, this affected this one person or this other person. But it wasn't until it was about not 6 months, probably February 2017.
Ooh.
So Overwatch had been out for a little while, and I knew that everybody was really enjoying it, and I was getting to connect with the community online, which was my first time connecting with that broader gaming community. Even
Hmm.
though I had been a gamer when I was a kid, there weren't as many people openly sharing so much in that community back then. And so I was meeting artists and cosplayers and all of these people, and I was meeting them online, and people were DMing me their stories and whatever, but I never felt really qualified to have a conversation with them via direct message about personal things. I didn't feel like
Hmm.
that was my place. Certainly not my place to give anyone advice. I have opinions. I shouldn't be telling anyone how to live their life. But there was a night where I was like, hey, you know what? I'm going to put something out there. Like, let's ask for a fan art Friday and see what people do. There'll be like maybe 5 or 10 things. I'm sure it'll be great. And then there was this slew of people just offering up what they had made at
Hmm.
every level of ability of artistry. And it touched me so much when I realized these are people who have become so generous with themselves because of the connection that they have made in this community to these projects. Not specifically my projects, but this one was a project I was involved in, right?
Yeah.
And so it changed for me because I immediately was started thinking of what can I give them? What can I put out there for them? And I started a web series called I Am Funsize, where I would take people's letters and then tell them stories from my life that may or may not help them through that time. Again, not advice, more like, let me share my stories with you, because that's all I've got that no one else has, right?
Hmm.
And as those stories started to come back to me, the stories from I Am Funsize, people would find me from somewhere else, but then they would They would stick around for I Am Funsize, and they read the book and all these things. When those stories started to come in, that was the first time I really felt like, okay, amazing. My passion for storytelling and my purpose of making sure no one feels like they're alone, and using whatever I have available to me to convey that, whether through stories, whether through this web series, whether through writing, whatever it is, now they're fully in line. Now they are completely 100, they're indelibly linked. That was a really, really great moment for me, because it, you know, I've been doing this a long time, but to feel like you don't have to separate those two things, that they really are working together. That's when I got 10 times more energy and just couldn't stop.
Yeah, I love that. And I think maybe during COVID, I noticed like the human connection, whether it be like people through arts, like I think that's really where obviously the gaming industry grew something like 300% during that time. And it kind of like opened up things. And it must be very nice for you to also, you know, you have your art, you have your passion, your work, and it's bringing so many other people just like a connection, a joy. So
Yeah,
that must be great.
it is exceptional. And I only wish that like first responders would get as much feedback as we do. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
we are very lucky. I can't think of a lot of careers where every day there is the opportunity to get applause or someone to tell you how great you are or whatever. Like that is a thing to fuel you through hard times. I wish that happened for EMTs and for, you know, emergency room doctors and people on the police force and firemen and women. Like I just wish that was something that everybody could get, because it really is a huge, it just fuels you in those moments when you don't want to get up in the morning or you don't want to do the hard thing. You know that you have to. You got to do it. Someone needs it. Get up.
100%. We are all for first responders here. Don't share enough love, but need to share more love because they're doing what we wish we could all do. Yeah.
Thank God for all of them.
And to kind of change gears a little bit from that, obviously, you did voice acting. When did you start to dabble into D&D? Is it something that you've played for like years off screen?
Yeah. What a great question. So I actually first played D&D when I was 8 years old.
Okay.
My brother gave me the basic set and I was just off to the races. But there was a period of time between, say, end of high school and about 2017, 18, which I call the dark days of gaming, where I didn't play because, I mean, I didn't play D&D, I didn't play video games, I kind of shut it down. Video games, I played a little longer than that before the dark days began. But it was because of Marisha. It was because of Matt Mercer and Marisha Ray. I call Marisha my patron saint of gaming for this reason, because she suggested, hey, you know, there's this show at Geek and Sundry that they're doing, and I think you'd be great for it. Would you be interested to check it out? And it was Ivan Van Norman was GMing a show called We're Alive Frontier using the Outbreak Undead game system. And no, it wasn't D&D, but it was a role-playing game, and it was the first time I had come back to role-playing games, but in this way, as a performance, you know, as a mode of entertainment for other people while also playing the game. And I was just mind blown by how fulfilling it was, and how much fun it was, even in the dark moments of the story. And it just touched me in a way and made me realize, oh, this is a genre this is a really special genre of entertainment, and this is a really special way to tell stories with these friends. So that was just kind of when the ball, as soon as that happened, I didn't want to stop. I just wanted to eat it up. So yes, kept my day job of acting, still doing TV, still doing voiceover, love it, will never quit my day job. But the actual play world has definitely become a huge part of my heart. And the community, again, similar to the community I was talking about before, one of the things I love so much about the D&D community and the tabletop community at large is that there's literally always a seat at the table. There's always space for someone to come play. There's always a game that you can play in. There's always a character you can take on. There's the barrier to entry is desire. That's it.
Yeah.
And, I think in a world where we talk a lot about diversity and equity and inclusion and all of those things, and the words get thrown out, inclusion means being invited to the party. It means being included, right?
Yep.
And where better do we see that than when people are, hey, come play this game with us, come sit at my table, come learn this new thing with me. If you're doing something like Basic Quest, come learn about my culture, come to our party. That for me is very, very exciting.
I love that. And especially, I guess, how do you come to step into your D&D characters versus, say, someone you're voice acting versus someone like at Ruby that you're acting? Do you kind of have the same method to like get into that character, or is it a little bit different depending on the medium?
It's never depending on the medium, it's depending on the moment.
Okay.
I mean, there are certain things, obviously, different. Each medium has a set of parameters that require you to use a different set of skills, right? Obviously, my dance skills aren't necessarily going to show up as much when I'm doing voiceover, but my ability to, my physicalization of the character affects how they would speak. How a character walks affects how they would speak. How I walk in what shoes I wear. For most of the recording sessions I did for Symmetra, I was always like, well, I'm going to wear my heels because that's the posture she's in. Also because I love wearing heels. Yeah, I feel like as an actor, regardless of whether you're working in multiple media or not, we all have a toolbox, and it's not, at least I can't speak for everybody, but at least for me, it's never the same process twice. It's what tool is going to work at this given moment. It's, do I immediately identify with the interconnection to this character, or do I immediately feel the physicality of them, or do I immediately hear their voice, or is there something that they say in the script that I connect to? Like, what is that? Is there a visual? Is it just going to be me being there with the people around me, and that's what's going to help me create the character in these situations that we're in? So there's not a specific method yet, which I hope doesn't make me sound like I don't take it seriously, because I take it very seriously. It's just that I don't ever want to be stuck in a list of to-dos when I'm putting together a character. I have a lot of ways in, and I feel like for everyone in everything that we do, all we need is a way in, whether it's the career you choose, whether it's you just need your way in. So that's what I guess it's just finding my way in.
Yeah. And then I guess with this latest project now, Tales from Woodcreek, which I'm very excited to talk to you about, did you have to pick like multiple tools? Because it is obviously playing D&D, but it's also...
Tales from Woodcreek, the great thing is they did all the work for me.
Okay.
Like, I created my character, yes, and a backstory, and rolled up my character and picked my spells and all of that. But because it is such an immersive experience, and because it's Deborah, and she's so magnificent as a DM, and I know her well enough to know, and she'll say this a million times to people, what she wants to do is delight her players. So I know we're gonna have a fun time. I know we're gonna be taken care of. I don't have to really my preparation is be prepared for the unexpected, be prepared to not know, be okay with not knowing. And that's all we had to do, really, at least for me. I think I went in really knowing even less than I probably should have, because I said yes before I really looked through anything. I was like, yeah, of course, it's you. Let's do it. I want to do it. I don't know what we're doing. So when I got on set and saw really how involved and how immersive it was, there was a moment of like, oh, cool. Oh, we're doing this. Oh, this is amazing. And the immersive aspect of being in the buildings, and how beautifully and evocatively she will describe something while it's also still here for me to look at. Yeah, the tool is let go all the tools and just let it wash over you.
And
be ready to play, because it was a giant playground.
it's
that they
funny
created.
enough, when I found out where you guys filmed it, I like where I am right now is maybe 5 minutes away. And I grew up going there on like school
What?
trips. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So
Oh,
small
that's amazing.
world. Yep.
Yeah.
And how was it being like in that atmosphere? If for the people listening, it is Black Creek Pioneer Village here in we'll say North York, Toronto. How was it? Because growing up, we definitely heard like it could be a little haunted. It's a little spooky at night. Did you?
It was super spooky at night.
It's
But like,
super
we were
spooky.
shooting a spooky show, so you
Yeah.
lean in, right?
Yeah.
The idea of that, I mean, also we were with a big group, so it was like wasn't like I was walking alone in the forest by myself and there were no cameras or anything. But that would have been spookier. There were a few moments where I was walking alone from like set to another building or something, where I was like, yeah, I could see how I would not want to be walking around here this much alone. But it's the perfect setting for this story. For this kind of like folk horror story that she has created. And yeah, I loved it. It felt like, we have so many places, especially during Halloween, that are doing, like, we have Knott's Scary Farm or Universal Hollywood Nights, where they turn a place into a giant haunted house playground. And that's kind of what this felt like. But yeah, I'm not a skeptic, and I'm certainly not a cynic when it comes to haunted things. I've just never really had an actual experience, supernatural experience. I've been eager to and open to, but because I haven't had that experience yet, I wonder if that's what's also keeping me from being like fully spooked in those moments.
Which, if anything, that might be protecting you in a way. So that's good as well. It's like,
Yeah.
maybe it's
No,
there,
no,
but
trust me, believe me, my friends have told me a few stories recently of their own experiences where I'm like, yeah, I don't want to experience that. Thank you for,
oh man.
I'm good.
Yeah, but very funny. That's where I learned how to churn butter when I was like 8 years old.
Oh,
So at
that's
nighttime,
amazing. See, I here at Knott's Berry Farm is where I learned about blacksmithing. So
Awesome.
so there we go.
And when you're in that space, there's like Deborah went out, it was out of the park. Just the puzzles,
Yeah.
the books with like moving parts. How was it? Did you guys film it all in one shot, or did you guys kind of like
So okay, so we definitely split it up. I will say, yes, Deborah, it came from Deborah's imagination, but we have an extraordinary team that also helped to execute that. Ed Gastonley, the producer director, basically said to her, like, tell me what your wish is. What do you want to make? And she pulled this out and then would describe the things that she wanted, in her ideal world, things that she would want to be able to happen physically, tangibly, audibly. We had an extraordinary prop house that was making all of these props to order. So yeah, so it was definitely a joint venture in terms of that.
what a dream it is for Deborah to just be like, oh yeah, this is what I want, let's make it happen, and to have like the full team and support to like actually make those things happen.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
that's really
And
cool.
she did hit it out of the park because she didn't rein in her imagination. This came from her head and her heart, and she's so creative, and she's such a generous DM in terms of like, I want to make sure I will give you players everything I possibly can to enjoy yourselves. So that made it just a really wonderful experience.
Awesome. And then how was it working again with like Iman and like maybe some of the people who are newer to D&D?
Sure. I mean, it was wonderful playing with Iman. Working with Iman feels like playing with Iman. The two do not, they're always, the line is very blurry. She's just such a wonderful person. And Deborah says this a lot, and I feel very similarly, that the new players are the ones that are the most exciting to play with, because they don't know what they don't know, and they're not, because they aren't familiar with the rules, they're just kind of going in and doing the thing that they want to do. And if they are open-hearted and game enough, they'll make decisions that we never would have thought of making, and they commit to the story and they go in. And 3 of the 4 of our players, our guests on this show, are not people who play D&D regularly. Some, it was their very, very first time. And And so having that experience with them was really special, especially while also, you know, playing with the dudes, because Kelly and Monty, obviously, like, you watch their videos to learn how to play D&D.
The dungeon dudes.
Yeah, exactly. They know what they're doing. And so to have that kind of wide level of experience among the whole group was really fun too, to watch how people reacted in the moments and how people solved things in the moments. And all of the guests are so wonderful. Jess Hennick comes in, you guys are going to see her in the next episode. She comes in with the most wonderful, like, she was nervous going into it, and then she came, like, you would never know it because her character is full and committed and everything you want it to be. And then Sean Majumdar comes in and makes these incredible choices that most people would never make when they're playing. And of course, then we have beautiful Will Wheaton coming in at the end. And I'll play a game of D&D with Will any day of the week, anytime, 24 hours a day. Like, he's absolutely wonderful. So it was great. It was such a great combination of people that they pulled together. Yeah.
And what was your most memorable moment, or like the one thing that surprised you the most during
can't tell you yet because it's spoiler.
Ooh, okay. Can you give us a hint so when we get there we know?
A few of them. I've got there's some really fun moments just as a player in the next section with Jess Hennick in it. Where the chemistry that we all had really was firing, and I remember those delicious moments where something would just, like, everything clicked. I love that. There is a section of sort of like the third section of the show where things get really scary. Ooh. And it's awesome. There is now video footage out there in some of the final moments of me running through the forest in high heels, and I'm proud to say that I can do that. That's a favorite moment.
Honestly, applaud, because I can't.
It's a skill. It's not a skill anyone needs, but it's a skill. You asked a question that I skated over, and this is, now I remembered, this is the one that I forgot. You asked how we shot it. We shot each sort of location in one night. So, okay. And then split that up into episodes. So it was definitely separated. You know, we had time in between each of those adventures, and you'll know when they close up. So each guest we shot with them in one night.
Oh, awesome. And then how long were you here filming? Was it like a week, a couple days, even longer?
It was specifically 4 days of filming.
Okay.
Convincingly. 4 days of filming with a couple of extra days there to just tool around Toronto. Toronto.
Yeah, second T.
Toronto.
Yep.
Why do we need that second T? Nobody needs it. So it was too fast. By the time we were done, I was like, no, I don't want to leave. I don't want to leave my dudes. I don't want to leave Deb. I just want to keep playing.
Have you been here before? Did you get to like do any like sightseeing or like eat good food?
Before. That trip I did not really do. I'm not really a sightseeing person so much. Although when we filmed our session 0, I did get to,
walk the park,
check out a little bit of the town. When that session 0 was happening was right around the Toronto Film Festival too. So I got to do some stuff there. Went to see a film with Iman and hung out. So I haven't had enough time yet in Toronto to really be like, I'm gonna go sightsee and enjoy myself. For me, it's been, I'm gonna enjoy the people, I'm gonna enjoy great meals.
Honestly, food. That's what I travel for, is food.
Right? Food and people. That's all I need. Food and people.
All right, well, thank you. And I guess kind of shifting gears again, out of all the characters you played, so say like a Vix, say like Rampart, who is most like you, or who do you wish you were most like?
Oh, that's so hard, because so all of the characters that I have made, specifically my TTRPG characters, definitely have elements of them that I wish I was like, or that I would imagine, I would hope I would be like in those circumstances. Probably the closest that comes to mind is in We're Alive Frontier, which I know is a little bit more obscure for a lot of people, and not as many people had seen it. But just in terms of her her ethics and the way that they are like the number one thing is take care of your own. That said, like Rampart is me with an accent and a side pony. Like her level of, am I allowed to swear here?
Oh yeah, the badass.
Her level of I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And like, oh, I'm sorry, you're gonna knock me down. Okay, here I am again. Like her inability to not be sassy, I feel like is very much a part of me. And the reason she's got that ridiculous laugh where she just sounds like she's laughing at herself is because I was laughing at the lines as I was saying them. I was laughing at myself as I was saying them, and I was like, that's a great line. It's a great line. So that's definitely a lot of me. Yeah, every character that I've chosen, that I've really gotten to write, which is mostly the TTRPG characters, have something within them that I wanted to explore within myself. And I kind of love it that way. Vix definitely sounds the most like me and has my sense of humor, and obviously has my physicality because I'm walking around like her. So I guess at this moment, she's probably the closest one to who I am. And then, except I'm not a changeling, so I can't change my face.
I mean, technically you're an actress, so you could say it your own way.
This is true. I'm a chameleon.
And then through all of your characters, is there like a connecting thread in your storytelling, or is like the connecting thread just like your heart that you put into it?
I don't think there's a conscious one. And again, a lot of times I'm not writing the character, so I can't necessarily put that through line into it. But the ones that I have chosen and the ones that I've created, I think loyalty and taking care of other people, even in ways that don't look like you're taking care of them, that I think has been a through line. Just looking out for whether it's your dear friends, whether it's your family, whether it's the strangers around you, whether it's the community. There is a part of Vix's story, which you will learn later on, that is largely about, why she took a particular set of actions that may or may not have seemed like they were selfish. So yeah, I think that's probably the through line, is that fierce sense of like loyalty and whether or not it is manifest in a way that is outwardly good.
Interesting. I like that. It's a thought-provoking.
Trying so hard not to give you spoilers. That's why.
Okay. Very fair. And then I guess another fun one, if you could cross over or fuse anyone you've performed, like say Yatsley and Teldori, like do you have like a dream weird?
God, I can't even imagine. All of them. I want all of them to crisscross. I want to have a party with all these characters at it. That's what I want. Let's do that. Let's have a party in Alexandria somewhere with just all your characters. Everybody's coming beautiful. Over. We're having a big party with all of them. Alexandria is big enough for all of us, so I'm hopefully Matt won't mind us throwing the party there. But yeah, gosh, I can't even imagine. I do often imagine the meeting of Symmetra and Rampart, and whether that goes extremely well or extremely poorly. Could go either way.
It definitely could go either way, I think.
It could go either way. Like Symmetra could find her fascinating or want to throttle her. It's hard to know. Yeah. But they both have, similar kits. They both got that big old wall, so yeah, gosh, what a great question. I'm gonna wake up at like 3:00 in the morning and be like, oh,
that's it. Okay. Last question, kind of like, what's next for you? What other projects do we need to know about?
Well, I have some fun actual play stuff happening at PAX Unplugged, so I'm really excited about that. We've got a few games, panels, and stuff that are happening. Doing a panel, doing a game with the Dungeon Dudes again, Drakenheim game, but set in the Daggerheart game system, so I'm excited about that. Doing the Fallout RPG for the new module that's coming out for Modifius, and then a bunch of stuff that I can't tell you about. I don't know when this interview comes out.
we'll be probably in a couple days, so probably not yet, but we'll be on the lookout for sure.
There's something coming out really, really soon, like
All right.
really, really soon after this comes out that I wish I could tell you about, but I can't. So you got to stay on social media.
We'll be on the lookout. And thank you so much for talking with me. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much. And again, I love those headphones. Wear them all the time.
Thank you. I will. Have a good one. Take care.